Hey guys, on the bench today we have got the Traxxas Sledge. I picked this truck up from Tiny Adventures RC. I want to put a link to their website down in the description. If you want to get one of these or pretty much any other truck, they're great guys to work with, check them out. Now I've been bashing this truck for a while now and I really haven't done very many mods to it. Let me show you what I've done so far. So far, all I've done is I've reinforced the body. I switched the connector on the ESC over to my QS8. Now I was going to switch this ESC out, but I decided to keep this one in here because for me, it's plenty powerful enough. Any truggy that can do standing backflips out of the box has enough power for me. I also installed a slash front bumper on here. I've got a video about that. I'll put a link to it down in the description if you want to see that. I went ahead and installed this 35mm fan on the motor. I didn't really have any problems with the motor overheating yet, but it is getting warmer out, so I thought putting a fan on here was a good idea. I also did my battery strap mod on here. I've got a video for that too. I'll put that down in the description as well. Other than that and a few other prep things that I've done on all my vehicles, I have not done any upgrades to this truck. Today that's going to change because I went ahead and picked up these Traxxas upgraded CNC machined spiral cut ring and pinion gears. Now, these things look really awesome. They're going to replace the stock sintered steel gears. I haven't had any problems with the stock gears yet, but these will definitely be an upgrade. And I think I'm going to try and go 8S with this truck. So with 8S, I think these may be necessary. Let me get the truck off the bench. We'll compare these to the stock ones. I'll show you how to do install real quick. Then we'll take this out and bash it and see how these hold up. Here we have the upgraded ring and pinion gear. These are the same tooth count, but they are CNC machined and they are spiral bevel as opposed to being sintered steel and straight cut. These are part number 9579R. The front and rear are the same. I think these were 50 bucks a piece straight from Traxxas. Let's see how they compare to the stock ones. So if we take a look at the pinion gears, we can see that these are actually pretty similar. Unlike the ring gears, the pinion gears are already CNC machined from the factory. So the only real difference between these two is that these are a spiral cut and these are a straight cut. Spiral cut is inherently a stronger design because you have more tooth engagement due to the shape of the teeth. The big difference comes in these ring gears. Now, this is a CNC machined ring gear, which is basically they take a solid piece of steel and they cut this shape out of it. This is a sintered powdered steel gear. What that means is they have a mold and then they pour powder into it and they smash it together with heat and pressure, and the grains of that powder kind of grow together. It forms a solid piece of metal, but it's not as strong as a CNC machined billet like this is, because those grains don't grow as close together as the grain structure of this is. So a sintered steel gear will never be as strong as a CNC machined gear. The primary advantage of these is they're cheap to make because there's very little post-processing you have to do once the gear is made. You can see that the sintered steel gear is quite a bit thicker than the CNC machined one. That's fine. Once again, they have to make these thicker both for manufacturing reasons and for strength reasons. This will almost certainly be a stronger gear. Now, some will say that this gear should have come in the truck from the factory, and I don't necessarily disagree with that. However, there are a couple of factors to take into account. One, it would have made the truck more expensive, and it's already a very expensive truck. And two, by making it an aftermarket part, they can make this as nice as they possibly can. If they'd made this a stock part, there's a decent chance it wouldn't be as nice as it is as an aftermarket part, and this is a beautiful part. That being said, what do you guys think? Should this have come from the factory or should this have come from the factory? Let me know down in the comments. All right, let's go ahead and get this beauty installed. The first thing we want to do is remove the 2 screws that hold the shocks into the arms. Then we're going to take the 6 screws out of the differential case. Then we're going to flip the truck over and remove this 1 single screw that holds the differential case in from the bottom. Once you have those screws out, you just take the differential cover off, subscribe to my channel, and then you take that rear differential right on out of there. Next step's going to be to go ahead and remove the grub screw pin that holds the pinion gear in. Then just go ahead and pull your pinion out of there. So next you simply take the ring gear off of the differential housing, taking the 4 screws out. Go ahead and swap all the parts over to the new ring gear. Now's a great time to top up that rear differential if it's low on fluid. And then we put it all back together. Installation is the reverse of removal. All right, well that's the install done on the front and rear, and everything went great. You may need to shim your pinions. I did not need to shim mine. They fit absolutely perfectly with no shims, which is what I would hope from something that's an upgrade part from Traxxas, but you may need to shim yours, so make sure you check that. Now everything rolls great, nice and smooth. I think maybe even smoother and quieter than it did stock. Let's get a 6S battery in this thing, take it out back, and give it a bash, see how these gears hold up. there you go, another great successful bash session. This thing is quickly becoming one of my favorite vehicles. It's fast, handles really well, and is super durable for the kind of bashing that I do. I don't know if you could hear it or not in the video, but I think these gears actually sound quieter than the stock gears, which they should, because spiral bevel gears have a different type of engagement than straight cut gears, which makes them more quiet. But it's good to prove that out in practice. So should you get this upgrade? I'm not sure. I've seen a couple failures on the stock gears, but not too many. Mine still looked great. I think maybe if you're gonna be going for big power on this truck, it'd be a great upgrade. Or if you're the kind of person like me that just likes to upgrade things, it's also a great upgrade. They're smooth, they're quiet, they'll probably last forever. And in the grand scheme of things, they aren't that expensive. All right guys, hope you found this video useful. If you did, please subscribe, throw me a like. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask those. If you wanna see anything else with this truck, anything specific, let me know. I'll make a video about that too. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.